Are you looking for an easy way to win big from a neck injury after an accident? In this video, I'll reveal a new system to greatly boost your odds at huge compensation for neck pain. To explain the steps that anyone with a neck injury can use to quickly boost their chance of a monster payout, let's look at Brooke's case. She won over $14 million for her neck injury. Brooke was rear-ended and her vehicle rolled over on one side. There was a large amount of damage to the vehicles, so we know that the other car hit her hard. This matters because insurance companies love to say that your neck injury wasn't caused by your accident. They'll virtually always question the cause of your neck injury, no matter how obvious it seems. But what happens if there's not much damage to the cars involved in your crash? You should request the event data recorder from the owner of the car that hit you. The data recorder will show the speed that the car was going just before it hit you and at the time of impact. The data recorder can be the difference between you getting a huge payout and not getting a penny. Getting it is the first step to quickly increasing the odds that you get paid big. To explain the next step that often pays big, let's get back to Brooke's case. She had neck pain and paramedics drove her to the ER. Your case is usually worth much more if you take an ambulance to the hospital. But why? Because it shows that you had a medical emergency. Now, this doesn't mean that the insurance company will just roll over and agree that the accident caused your neck injury. They likely won't. But it's one less argument that they'll have when they fight to pay you less money or deny your case. A huge amount of accident victims report the accident to the careless person or business's insurance company. I'm talking about in a car accident, slip and fall, or any other accident. And when you report the claim, one of the questions that the insurance company will ask you is, do you have pain? Most accident victims assume that because they tell the claims rep that they have pain, that the insurance company is going to pay you for it. That's 100% wrong. Sure, they may put it in their notes, but it means little to nothing to them. This is true no matter how nice they are to you. So what really boosts your case value more than just saying you're in pain to the claims rep? It's telling a doctor that you have pain shortly after the accident. However, only say this if it's true. Nothing, and I mean nothing, will destroy the value of your case faster than getting caught lying. So the second step that often greatly increases your odds at a sizable neck injury payout is to get medical treatment fast. While Brooke was at the hospital, they took an MRI of her neck and brain. An MRI is the best way to see if there's any issues in your neck. You may think you've had an MRI even if you haven't. You see, although Brooke had an MRI at the hospital, that's not the norm. Most of the time, the hospital will give you an X-ray or a CT scan, not an MRI. Those are awesome at showing if you have a broken bone in your neck, but they're not great at showing if you have another problem like a herniated disc. Brooke had 3 discs in her neck that were pushing on the area that surrounds the spinal cord. But if she wouldn't have gotten an MRI of her neck, she wouldn't have known this. So the third step that can substantially increase the value of your case is to get an MRI of your neck if you need it. But don't assume that the insurance company is going to pay you because you have a herniated disc or your MRI shows other issues. They love to argue that your herniated disc wasn't caused by the accident. They do this by paying their own doctor to examine you and look at the MRI. That doctor usually says that you had the herniated disc before the accident. Insurance companies spend hundreds of millions of dollars hiring doctors to fight neck injury cases. And often the tougher the insurance company is, the harder you'll have to fight for your claim. There's 3 big insurance companies that you may think are great, but they actually fight neck injury cases hard. They are Progressive, Allstate, and State Farm. If you have a neck injury, will going back to work after an accident affect your settlement? In a moment, you'll see that Brooke's case gives us the answer. She ended up suing her own insurance company, Geico, for underinsured motorist insurance coverage. She had this optional coverage and the other driver didn't have enough insurance to pay for her neck and head injury. Brooke went back to work after her accident, and you won't believe what Geico did. Do you think that Geico said, "Good job, Brooke, for working even though you're injured. We're gonna give you credit for that"? Nope, they did the exact opposite. They minimized her neck injury by saying that she wasn't badly injured since she was working as an anesthesiologist again. So basically, the insurance company punished her for going back to work. Geico isn't the only insurance company who makes this argument. They all do. Think about it this way. Every day the insurance company holds on to the settlement money, instead of paying you, they get a little bit richer. They save and invest this money. Now, the interest that they make from one person's claim might not be a lot, but imagine they're doing this with hundreds of thousands of accident victims. That's a lot of extra money for them. The next step that Brooke took added major value to her case. About 6 months after the crash, her doctor gave her a trigger point injection to her neck. Getting an injection adds value to your case because it shows the insurance company that you're in pain. It's much more powerful than telling your doctor that you have pain. Brooke saw a neurosurgeon who recommended that she have 2 of the discs in her neck replaced or fused together. If a doctor says that you need neck surgery, quickly send this medical record to the insurance company. When you do this, they're likely to increase their estimate of the money that they set aside to pay you. This amount of money is called the settlement reserve. Every insurance company is legally required to have one for your case. Sometimes your doctor may tell you that you may need surgery, but they don't mention it in your medical records. This is why it's so important to know what your medical records say. Also, insurance companies put different values on your pain and suffering for different surgeries. For example, did you know that having your neck vertebra fused is usually worth much more than if a doctor burns one of the nerves in your neck? If you've already had surgery, your case is likely worth much more than if surgery is just recommended but not yet performed. This is because insurance companies know that if you haven't yet had the surgery, you may never have it. They don't want to pay you for pain and suffering and bills for a surgery that you might not get. Insurance companies are generally very cheap. Brooke's lawyers sued in this case and the jury awarded her millions. A huge part of the reason she got such a large verdict was because her lawyers knew the simple and quick steps to take during a personal injury claim. Without knowing these straightforward steps, you won't stand a chance at getting a large payout. The amazing news is anyone can quickly learn these proven game-changing steps by watching the video that's on screen now or clicking the link in the description below. And if you've been injured in Florida or on a cruise and someone else is at fault, click on the link in the description below to see if I could be the lawyer for you.